pork belly. You hear that? Yum. Just like that. Hi everybody, welcome back to Cantonese food recipes. I'm Andrew and tonight I'm going to show you how to marinate my pork belly over here. We're going to marinate this pork belly and then we're going to air fry this pork belly tomorrow, and you will come out with a very delicious crispy skin over here. So as you have seen all my other previous pork belly recipes from my mother and myself, tonight I'm just going to alter the marination of the pork belly a bit, and then we'll see how it comes out and how it tastes tomorrow. So yeah, this is a new version of the air fryer crispy pork belly recipe. So let's get cooking. Okay guys, let me show you how to marinate this piece of pork belly over here. This pork belly is like a 1 kg size of pork belly over here. As you can see, it is it has some meat and fat. Mostly when you're selecting the pork belly, it must have more fattiness, so that when you air fry it, it will be very crispy. A lot of fattiness will come. But if you get a pork belly that has a lot of meat, when you air fry it, it will be kind of dry. So make sure when you're selecting a piece of good pork belly that there's a lot of fat content, almost like bacon kind of fat content when you're making your pork belly over here. So first I'm going to cut up some slits onto the pork belly over here. Okay guys, as you can see, this pork belly is also a decent size to be fitted into an air fryer. This recipe is for the air fryer, so yeah, my air fryer is an XXL Philips air fryer, so this can fit inside. So now we're just going to cut some slits into this meat over here. So this is a piece of rectangle piece of pork belly. We're just going to just give it a few slits like that, so that once the pork belly is air fried, then it'll be very easy to chop up the pork belly pieces. So it doesn't really matter about I like it about 2 fingers width size, but it doesn't really matter. It depends on what kind of bite-sized pieces of pork belly that you want to cut. So it's all up to you guys, but I prefer like 2 fingers width kind of size for the pork belly over here. So we're gonna cut the meat until up to here. You don't want to cut it all the way through, or else the whole pork belly will snap. So just about up to here. So let's cut this up. So there you go. I cut it up to the second way, so just leaving like a little bit of thickness over here. And can you see also the size that I like with my crispy pork belly? If you slice it too wide, and then when you're chopping it up, like the pieces over here, like once you snap this into half and then you cut these pieces over here, it will be too big to be served. So you cut a good serving size like this. And if you cut more slits like this size, you will marinate the inner parts of the pork belly better, and a lot of the flavors will be absorbed into the pork belly over here. So yes, let's cut more slits here. And make sure when I'm cutting with my cleaver over here that I'm slicing like this. You don't want to do like that. Like slowly slice and feel the meat. Go. Okay, as you can see, give it some good slits over here. and it's kind of nice sized pieces over here. If your pieces went near to the skin, it doesn't matter. You'll do better next time, just like what I did over here. As you can see, it went too near to the skin compared to these other pieces over here. Okay, now we're gonna marinate the meat side of the pork belly first. Okay, first we're going to sprinkle some salt. Here is 1 teaspoon. Just make sure the whole piece of your pork belly has some salt. Doesn't mean like if I add 1 teaspoon of salt on your pork belly, you also need to add 1 teaspoon. It also depends on the size of pork belly that you're using. If you're like using such a small piece, obviously you'll be sprinkling about like a half a quarter teaspoon of salt. But as you can see, when I sprinkled 1 teaspoon of salt, it just covered this much section of the pork belly. Just a little bit more sprinkle of salt here. Just a little bit. You don't want it to be too salty. Okay, next we're gonna sprinkle some white pepper, also just covering all the whole piece of pork belly over here. Just sprinkle white pepper. There you go. Okay, next we have some Chinese 5 spice over here. Sprinkle good amount of Chinese 5 spice here as well. Okay, here just make sure it's all covered. You don't want like so much Chinese 5 spice, just make sure there's a good amount covering the pork belly over here. Okay, that's enough. It's about 1.5 teaspoons, but on your pork belly you might need more or less depending on the pork belly size. Okay, next I got here some bean sauce, Chinese bean sauce. I'm first gonna add in 2 teaspoons. Let's just make it 3 like this, so that it will cover the whole pork belly. Oh yes, I'm also going to sprinkle some sugar. Sprinkle some sugar all around on top. I'm supposed to put all my spices in the pork belly first before putting the bean sauce. So sprinkle all your spices on the pork belly first. So yeah, I covered the whole pork belly with the sugar, and that will, once you put this into the air fryer, it will crisp up the pork belly very nicely. Okay, next we're also going to drizzle some oyster sauce. There you go. Okay, here comes the dirty part. In my previous videos, when I'm mixing up my meats and stuff, some of you guys said I must wear some gloves, and some of you guys said this is home cooking, this is your home, and basically your family's eating your own food, so you should use your hand to rub all your spices into the pork belly. But as you can see, it's like in the evening and I don't want to get my hands dirty. As you can see, if you use your hands to marinate the pork belly, a lot of the spices and stuff will stick into your nails and all that stuff, and that is unhygienic. So I would prefer to use some plastic gloves, but I don't have, and some of you say plastic, well, it's also not that good on food. So I'm just gonna use a teaspoon to mix this all up. Okay, just mix this up. Mix the sauces and the spices, the oyster sauce. Make it very gooey, like a toothpaste over here. Okay, once it's all gooed up, the gooiness, we're gonna spread it in the slits over here that we made. That's where the flavor will get into the pork belly over here. Use that teaspoon, rub all that spice to the meat over here. Just do some of these other movements to rub the meat. Okay, the one difference here from my previous pork belly videos from my mom's recipe is that on this recipe here, she didn't add no sugar, and I did add sugar. And now I'm also going to drizzle a little bit of Chinese rice wine. Drizzle a little bit of Chinese rice wine here. Okay, now that will make the paste very good and wet and a bit wetter for the marinade. Okay, and you know Chinese rice wine will also get rid of a lot of the pork, kind of porky flavors from the pork belly here. So yeah, just do that, get it into a good paste, and now we're going to get a tray and we're going to place this on top of the tray. So over here I've got a little oven baking tray over here. Scoop it here. Okay, so I placed it nicely onto my tray. Okay, now let's marinate the top part of the pork belly skin. Okay, so the pork belly skin, to get it crispy, first it's always gonna be about baking soda, so bicarbonate of soda. So same procedure, depending on your pork belly size, you're just going to top it off with enough baking soda. Okay, 1 teaspoon looks like it's enough, but I'm just going to add an extra half a teaspoon here. I want a very crispy pork belly in my air fryer tomorrow after this is marinated. Okay, now we're going to add in a little bit of water. Add in a little bit of water to form like a little, like baking soda paste. And then I'm just gonna use my tablespoon and just rub the skin with that little bit of water. Use a tablespoon here. Just rub that skin nicely. Very easy, quick and basic recipe to make for your home dinners. Every night for dinner I'm thinking like what I'm gonna cook for the family, and yeah, every day has to be different. So yeah, I haven't made a pork belly recipe for a long time, and now I'm showing you guys a new kind of flavor method that I'm doing and technique. Okay, so you just gotta use your tablespoon and give it a good rub like this. And obviously when you take a bite of the pork belly, obviously it's gonna be a little bit of salt, so you're gonna add in a little bit of salt as well. Here you also gotta just sprinkle all around some salt on the pork belly skin. Okay, and if it's enough wet and not so dry, you don't need to add any more water. Just continue to give it a good rub with your tablespoon. Okay, just like that, guys. And now I'm going to place this into my fridge uncovered, because we want the moisture to be evaporated out. You don't want to cover it with cling wrap and let the moisture get trapped in the pork belly. So we're gonna leave this overnight in the fridge, and then yeah, I'm gonna air fry this during dinner time, so it'll be nearly like 18 hours in the fridge. Okay guys, so that's how I marinate my pork belly. Very quick and simple, and with some basic Asian ingredients. Okay, let's pop this in the fridge, and I'll catch you guys back tomorrow when I'm air frying this. Okay, hi everyone, it's the next day. Took out my pork belly out of the fridge. As you can see, the baking soda and salt has dissolved a lot of that water, and yeah, you can also see from the base there a lot of the marination took place. So yeah, now we are going to boil some water in a wok and just place this into boil for about 10 minutes on 5 minutes each side. But before this video continues, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks guys. Let's go boil this up. Okay guys, so I just boiled a pot of water over here. Okay, let's dump in our pork belly. Put it in, you can see it's marination over here. Let's put it in. Let that boil up. Let boil up the impurities out of the pork before we air fry it. You guys would say that why you like boiling all the flavor out. Basically, we marinated overnight and it soaked up a lot of that flavor. That's what we want. And now we're boiling some of the flavor out of it and also the impurities out of the pork before we air fry it. And when we boil it, the pork will absorb a lot of water content. So when you air frying it, so basically when you air frying it, it's like heat from the air fryer, and also it's like because there's water in the pork, it'll become like a steaming function as well. That's why once the pork is done air frying and when it comes out, the meat is juicy, it's not dry. If you don't do this process, after you air fry it, your pork will have a lot of burns because there's a lot of that kind of that sauce that I made, that kind of toothpaste kind of sauce that we made to marinate last night. There's just too much sauce sticking at the base of this pork belly, and when you pop it in the air fry for like almost like 15 minutes, that sauce will be burnt up. So that's why we also have to boil the sauce out of the pork belly. As you can see already, it's on to boil, and you can see all these kind of bubbles. That's like the impurities coming out of the pork belly that we don't want. If you don't do this process and you air fry it, you're gonna be eating a lot of this stuff into your stomach and it won't taste good. So yeah, we're just gonna boil each side for about 5 minutes, and then yeah, we'll pop it into the air fryer. Okay, after 5 minutes, flip it around. There you go. You can see a lot of that sauce has been dissolved into that water, and that's what we want. Okay, let that soak in for another 5 minutes. Okay guys, it's been 10 minutes, 5 minutes on each side. I cleaned my tray over here. Let's take out the pork belly. Make sure that the impurities doesn't stick onto it. Okay, there you go. Here's my pork belly. Okay guys, this time let me show you guys how to air fry this. Okay guys, here's my pork belly. Before we pop this into the air fryer, the pork belly skin, we just gotta get some forks over here, and we're gonna give it a lot of stab. We're gonna stab the pork belly skin. Stab the pork belly skin a few hundred times. You see, once you boil your pork belly, the skin becomes a bit loosened and soft. If you didn't boil it, it'll be so hard just to stab some holes into the pork belly skin over here. And you can see the pork belly has absorbed a lot of water. So it's gonna be like a steaming function when we air fry this pork belly. The skin will be crispy and the meat will be juicy. Okay, so just gonna give that a few stabs, just like that, and now we're gonna pop it into the air fryer. Okay, here's my Philips XXL air fryer. I'm just gonna put some tin foil. I'm gonna do double tin foil. There you go. Okay, so first we're gonna cook the meat side of the pork belly. Yeah, it's a bit long, but it can fit nicely. So you must make sure your piece of pork belly can fit into your air fryer before you prepare the pork belly. So this is just a little bit long, but it's still fine. There you go. Just gonna press it down a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna air fry the meat section at 180 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. Okay guys, after 30 minutes, whew, looking good, they're crispy. Okay, let's take it out and put it back onto our tray. A lot of fatty porky fat is out. Okay, check that out. Okay, now we're gonna spike more holes onto the pork belly skin over here. Okay, let's spike more holes onto the pork belly skin. You can see now the pork belly skin it's like the fork can just pinch right through it. After we air fry the pork belly skin, the skin is gonna be so crispy and bubbly. Just make sure you spike the pork belly skin nicely. It doesn't need to be too deep, just up to the fatty area. If you don't spike, you'll end up with kind of like a thick bite on the pork belly skin. It won't be bubbly and, you know, like chips. If you don't poke those holes onto the pork belly skin, you're gonna be eating like a piece of wood with the meat. But once you spike the holes, a lot of the fatty oils will start popping out, and then you end up with almost like chip bites with the pork belly. So yeah, just give it a few more 1,000 spikes here, and then yes, let's pop it back into the air fryer. Okay, you can see here there's a lot of that pork belly oil. You just gotta leave it in there as well, so it can cook the base of the pork belly as well. So yeah, basically the base is cooked nicely already. Place it up like that. It's almost like curved a bit. Okay, now I'm gonna pop this back in the air fryer and air fry it at 200 degrees Celsius or 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 25 minutes. Okay guys, the last 5 seconds. Let's check it out guys. Woohoo! Look at that. Wow. Let's hear the crunch. Super solid guys, super solid. Okay, let's take this out. Check that out, guys. Crispy skin pork belly. You hear that? Yummy. Just check that close up. Wow. Wow, this is beautiful. Let's turn it around. Just check that out. Look at that. It's quick and easy, simple recipe you guys can make, as I've just showed you guys. Look at that. Very quick and easy. You can make this for dinner. Okay, enough talking. Let's chop this up and give this a taste. Okay guys, let's chop this up while it's crispy. Oh, super hot. Okay, let's flip it around. Wow, let's check that out. Okay, I've got my cleaver over here. Just chop. Look at that. Just like that. Just chopping, guys, chopping. Check that out. Flip it over. Just check that out. Just check that meat out. Okay, let's chop it up. That's why I said you have to make the slits. Wow, just check at these. Wow, juicy and hot. I like to cut it letting the skin facing me because you get that crunch there. Okay, just like that. Just show you guys. Voila, check at that. Crispy pork belly over here. Crispy skin pork belly. Look how beautiful that is. Wow. Okay, wow, just check that out. Every piece. See here? Check that out. Crispy skin here. Okay guys, enough showing you guys, and now let's have a taste of this. Okay guys, this is my crispy skin pork belly recipe. Let's check that out. Okay, let's have a bite. Let's check that out. Look at that. Okay, let's have a bite. So juicy. Very juicy, and that fattiness is so good. Yeah. Skin is so crispy. Guys, give this recipe a try and let me know how it went. As you can see, I showed you guys how to marinate this and air fry this, and it's so basic and easy. Anyone can do this at home. Last bite. The skin. That's why you have to stab in those holes. Get that chip bite. If you don't, you're gonna get like a wooden bite, and it won't even break open. So yeah, very nice recipe. Guys, please don't forget to hit the like button and check the rest of all my other videos on my channel. Thanks guys for watching.